Are you sometimes a crazy bitch who needs to be calmed down? Or even a crazy dude? If you are, then stay tuned and we'll help you with that. Hi, and welcome to the Small Businesses Do It Better show. This is episode 44. It's insane. And tonight we're going to talk to Lynn Higgin, which is the main chief tea stooper at Crazy Bitch Tea. And we're going to talk to her about what the heck is with the company name Crazy Bitch Tea, because everybody wants to know the answer to that question. But first, I want to tell you about our sponsor, which is Ovali. If you're interested in hosting your own show live stream like this one, then contact ovali.tv is our website. You can do producer@ovali.tv to email them. They produce my show and several others like it. So if it's a New Year's resolution to do more video marketing, capture more audience, all different types of people to get to know your brand and get made more aware of it, then send them an email at producer@ovali.tv. Tell them that you heard of it from my show. Okay, so this is super exciting. I have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, so we got to keep it on task because we're going to have a Twitter after party tonight, which is the first one that we've had, which is very cool. I'm excited for because I'm a Twitter geek. Okay, so I'm not going to imply anything here, but as you know, previous guests on our show were Shelly Ehler of the Show No Towel. Her other business is All Blown Up, which does life-size cardboard cutouts like this one, and I purposely wore the same thing. Very funny. Okay, so after they were on our show, I'm not going to imply that if you're on our show that this is going to happen to you, but they were on the Today Show, and also last week we had Julie Boucher, who is Slasa. It's a slossomely awesome company. And this stuff is super good, so go buy some because it's delicious. Anyways, congratulations to Julie and Slasa because they are going to be on the Rachel Ray show in February, which is so cool. So congratulations. That's just awesome.
But you're not going to imply that that's going to happen to everybody.
Yeah, I'm not going to imply that if you're on this show, you'll get on
national TV,
national television with the coolest really hosts ever. I'm not going to imply that, but
no, not at all.
The odds of that happening, I mean, the ratio is somewhat good, so keep that in mind. Anyways, another thing that we're doing that's very cool is I'm joining up with Brian, who's in the chat right now, the live chat. He does Easy Promos, which is a Facebook app for promotions, and we're going to do a contest all the month of January, and the winner will get their product featured on this show. And anybody can be on the show, but why that's cool is because right now we're booked several months out, and I'm going to actually hold slots for the winner of this, so you can get on the show a lot sooner by entering and winning in this contest. So it's not available yet. It'll start January 1st at midnight Pacific time, so stay tuned for more info on that. So that's really cool. And again, we're going to have a Twitter after party for Small Businesses Do It Better tonight following this show. And if you're listening to this later, it's Tuesday nights at 7:30 Pacific or 10:30 Eastern. And the hashtag we're using is SBDIB, which means Small Businesses Do It Better. So we're hoping to bring those that are in the chat, the live chat on the show, to a Twitter chat and vice versa, so we can have people from both places participate, which is very neat. Okay, so I would like to introduce our guest tonight, who is Lynn Higgin of Crazy Bitch Tea.
Hi.
Hi, Lynn. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Carissa. So glad to be here.
Thank you. So can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and how your business came to be?
Oh, yes, definitely. Well, I have mostly kind of a corporate kind of retail background, and then several years ago I started to work in the holistic health field, and I became an herbalist. And then about 2.5 years ago, I started, had come up with the idea about Crazy Bitch Tea. And since then, I'm still doing a little bit of the practice on the side a little, but most of my concentration is working with the tea and the
Awesome.
business and the whole Crazy Bitch phenomenon.
Okay, and you told me this story, but I'm sure everybody wants to know. Tell us about the story behind the name Crazy Bitch Tea, because this is unique. Where did that come from?
Well, my sister-in-law, who is actually known as the original Crazy Bitch, Robin Foley, who is now my co-founder, she would often call and ask me advice if she was having some things that were going on. And one day she called me and said, "Oh, geez, I am just so feeling like a crazy bitch today." And we laughed so hard. We thought how cool that was and how funny it would be if there was actually a product for crazy bitches. And we really didn't do too much with it at that time, but we kind of talked, and over the course of a few months, we decided that it had to be out there and how cool that would be. And so we put our heads together, and as an herbalist, I was able to come up with a really great blend, and she designed our branding, and we created Crazy Bitch Tea.
That's awesome. So, I have a bag of your tea here. Which camera are we on? We're on this one? Okay. So here's the bag. I'm putting it close. And I love your little tagline. It says, "The bitch stops here."
Here. Yes.
Okay, so again, we're not going to say this could work for everybody, but if you drink this tea, this Crazy Bitch Tea, it will calm the inner bitch in you. And guys can drink it too, right? It's not going to do anything to them?
No.
Okay. And I have a question. I didn't let you know this in advance, but I was looking at the ingredients on the back of here, which
Yes.
nice label and packaging, by the way. Okay,
Thank you.
so the last ingredient has a scientific name, but the non-scientific name is catnip.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that?
Well, catnip is actually known as a very calming herb. It's used in a lot of calming blends. And it's very funny because when we first introduced the tea, we had so many stories about people and their cats. And so we actually had to put a little kitty label on our website and on our tea that sort of says, to keep your little tea sacks out of the reach of your little felines, because we had people send us pictures of their cats with the paw in the cup trying to grab the tea bag. And so, yeah, it's become quite part of the story, and we love it, and it's a good ingredient. So.
Generally, when catnip, is this your, crack to get people hooked on your tea, is by putting catnip in there?
It's kitty crack, for sure. But yeah, there's a lot of good ingredients in there that, I put together and for a specific reason, and I did test everything, and catnip was just one of those herbs that, people think it's just for cats, but and it's actually a wonderful herb for humans to drink when they need to feel calm. And
Good
so
tip.
it was an ideal herb to put in the tea. And again, people that buy the tea do have to have that, forewarning if they do have a cat, or if, they have cats in their neighborhood. I did have a delivery of herbs once come to my house, and my husband came home, and there was a cat on the box of herbs sitting at our front door. So, and there was catnip in the box. So
That's crazy.
Just fair warning, but yeah, it's part of the wonderful blend that is.
Oh,
Crazy Bitch.
goodness.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about having a name for your company that some people disagree with? It is your company, and you chose to name it this, knowing what consequences may come. But what do you have to say about that? Because it's kind of a non-Disney name.
I'm really glad you asked me that question, because when my sister-in-law and I were deciding, what to call calling the tea Crazy Bitch Tea was a no-brainer. We had to call it that. And we decided to name the company that, basically to an homage to women, and men, but women everywhere, because it was out of the box. And we decided we were either going to go big or go home. We didn't want to just make another tea and call it something simple.
Herbal blend.
Because the whole thing was all about the day she called and she was feeling like the crazy bitch. And it is the universal language of women everywhere, and we wanted to claim that. And so we decided that that was that, and we were going to call it Crazy Bitch Tea. And so here we are today, and we're not going to fudge on the name. The name stays for the company and the tea.
Well, it's very bold and very catchy, and like I said earlier, you can't say it with a straight face. So if you're not going to admit to yourself that you may fall into this tea category and buy this tea, if you know someone who could benefit from them, then maybe just buy it and send it to them.
You could buy it and send it to them, and there's a lot of really good ways that you can put it, because essentially the tea is a gesture of love, which is what we have. You know, we tell a lot of men that want to maybe buy the tea for that special someone in their life, or a woman wants to get it for her friend. It's something that we give. It's like a little blanket in a tea sack. It's a Calgon moment. You know, you drink the tea and you want to give the tea to somebody because you know that they're having some stress issues or they're going through a lot of things, and so you want them to feel better. And also, you know, on the other aspect, it's a roar for women. It's like, stand up and claim yourself. Be that crazy bitch. Go for it.
Be proud of it. Embrace it.
Be proud of it. Embrace it. We're reclaiming that name. That name needs to be reclaimed totally.
And for those of you in the live chat right now, if you have any questions for myself or for Lynn, then let me know in the live chat and I can relay that to her. So Lynn, you mentioned that you went to the tea. I can't remember what it was called. It was a tea. What, remind me of what it was?
We have been well, most recently it was the World Tea Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay, so how does going to these industry-related conventions or expos or events help with business?
Well, in many ways. One of them, of course, is to get exposure for ourselves, but also to get a really good look into the tea universe and find out who is out there, what they're doing. We get so much information on what we can do to maybe better our company, and ways that, you know, we found a lot of our products, our packaging through going to these places. And we love to go visit everybody that are at these conventions. We love when they look at our tags. It's nice to, you know, walk up to a booth and have somebody go, Crazy Bitch Tea, because we flash our badges with such pride. But just, you know, like I said, just to kind of get out there and kind of get our name out, see what other people are doing, and get more information on teas, because we're ultimately going to be adding to what we have right now. We just have the one blend. So it's just all informative, and of course meeting all the interesting people that are in the industry. It's amazing. Totally cool.
Good tips. So if you haven't gone to one of these types of events, it'd be super beneficial to go.
Extremely super beneficial. Even if you don't have a booth, just to walk the aisles, and it's actually probably easier because you can walk and go anywhere, and you can just meet everybody. And it was amazing. I loved it.
Good tip.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sell your tea primarily online.
Yes.
How do you decide whether or not to sell it online or in a store?
Well, what we're doing right now, until we reach a higher level of volume, we believe that our tea sells better online, because when people go to our website, they get a chance to see what the tea is about. They get to read our story. They get to understand that this tea is not just the tea, that there's a story behind it, and there's a mission that we're trying to do as far as working, you know, helping women globally. You know, we want to save the world, you know, with women, and help women, and eventually get involved in women's causes. And we feel that our tea basically kind of on the website, it describes itself. You can see what it's about. It's not just a tea that's sitting on a shelf that people really don't know what the history of it is, or why it was created, or the women that were behind making the tea, and all the amazing people that are now involved with the company. And when people go on there and they see that the tea has this purpose and this reason and this story, we feel it sells itself better on the website versus right now if we put it in a retail store. We do have it in some retail places, and a lot of that is for brand exposure. So we do have some tea, and you know, here and there in a few places. And at some point, we hope that the volume coming through on our website will enable us to lower our costs on our tea, so that it makes us more enticing to more retailers. But for right now, we like the idea of people buying our tea and getting our tea from our website, because it's all about the story and all about the mission, and the tea is just something we birthed from that mission. So,
Good info, because I know for a lot of businesses, it's kind of like, oh, what do I do? This or which direction do I go?
It sings better on the website. It sings better on the website. We like that people they feel us on the website. If they see us on a shelf, then it may just be a tea with a cool name on a shelf, but there's no story there.
Right.
So, yeah.
Very good info. Well, Lynn, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was super fun having you and saying your name. Can you tell us where everybody can find you at online and social media and whatnot?
Oh, you bet. Our website is www.crazybitchtea.com. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/CBT. And I am on Twitter, and the Twitter is actually Crazy Bitch Tea. So it's twitter.com/crazybitchtea. And you can find me personally on LinkedIn under Lynn Higgin.
All right. Good info. Well, thanks again so much, Lynn, for joining me tonight.
Nice to talk to you. Thank you, Carissa.
So if anyone has any questions, again, I'm still going to be here for a few minutes in the live chat, but at 7:30 we have our Twitter chat. I want to say real quick, thanks to Tracy Westlager of Sincerely Yours by Tracy for sending us this holiday card. She makes cards, and it's so beautiful. So thanks, Tracy, for sending that. Okay, so this is exciting. This is a multi-use product that I'm going to feature tonight. Okay, so tonight we're talking about the Kick Rest. You might say, what is the Kick Rest? So it comes with this beautiful packaging, but essentially what it is, I'll show you this. You can kick up your feet wherever you're at, rest them on this nice, super soft pillow, memory foam. This is really high quality, and I really like it. So it has some super great features. I love that they sent me a pink one because it's my favorite color, as you can tell by my shirt. Okay, so this has multiple uses, and I've probably explored them all at this point. So this is meant for those who like have a coffee table or whatever. If you want to put your feet up, you put this on, and this is like really good quality memory foam here. I mean, this is nice. So you put your feet up on it. It has this little blankie thing so your feet stay warm, but it also Velcros off. So if you don't want it on there for whatever reason, you can take it off. And then the back has the non-skid thing so you don't slide it all over your coffee table. But what I use it for is while I'm working on my computer desk, I put it down on my chair on the floor because my feet are always cold and I always end up sitting on my feet, and that's not comfortable or ergonomic. So I end up putting this on the floor and keeping my feet warm in it. But again, you can take this off and it's really, really, really soft. So I absolutely love it. And their packaging is great too. As you can see on the back, comes in 6 cool colors. 2 greens, blue, pink, tan, and maroon. So there's colors for everyone. And you can visit their website here. You can buy them online at kickrest.com. They also have Facebook and Twitter, which is /kickrest or @kickrest. Or I think one of them is the Kickrest is their Twitter. So check these out. They're super cool. And I also use it too. I take this thingy off and put it on my back when I lean back in my chair, because then it's back support too. But they're really comfy, and you can even sit on them if you're like somewhere hard, sitting on something hard. But anyways, so check out the Kickrest at kickrest.com. And we're in the live chat right now. Lynn's in there. She was just on. So if you want to talk to Lynn, she's there now. Very cool. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about our Twitter chat, but first I want to mention that next week's guest, who's in the chat right now, I'm super stoked for this because we're both big geeks, and it's just going to be a big geek fest next week. Okay, so next week is Allie Rittenhouse, and the title I gave her is Digital Geek because she's online and she's a geek like myself. Not over the top geek, but just enough. And the product that we're featuring is from Tiffany Crewman's, and it's super cute. It's Ava the Elephant. She was on Shark Tank season 1, so you may not have seen her. But it's a talking medicine dispenser for kids who are afraid to take their medicine. And it's super cute. You're going to love this. So say hi to Allie in the chat room and join us next week for Allie and Ava and myself. And right now, in 4 minutes, we were going to be on Twitter for our first Twitter after party for the Small Businesses Do It Better show. Super cool. Geeking out again. So if you're watching the live chat right now, there's a link beneath the chat that says click here to open the tweet chat. And tweet chat is my preferred client. It fetches all the hashtags for the Twitter in there for you, so you don't have to bounce all around. So you just click that, sign into your Twitter account, and then you can tweet with us and other small business owners. And so people that necessarily weren't watching the show tonight may join in on the Twitter chat and vice versa. So it's going to be a whole networking fun thing. So join us for that right now, and join us next Tuesday at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern on smallbusinessdoitbetter.com. And thank you for watching.